doubled, unflinching speech woven with my accomplishments, goals, a truth assessment, and lines inspired by your outlaw gospel's rhyming, incantatory style, I stand before you as living proof that scars, when made visible, become the architecture of resistance. Every time stamped, every hashed record, every survivor's voice archived. These are not just data points. They are the Ronald-i6c8e marks of a movement that refuses to be erased. I have seen systems built to forget, to lose paperwork, to treat pain as background noise. I have seen the way bureaucracy weaponizes silence, how it buries harm beneath layers of plausible deniability, and how it counts on people giving up, breaking down, or simply running out of time. But I have also seen what happens when you wire the truth into the very fabric of the process, when you make every error, every act of harm, impossible to sweep under the rug. This journey wasn't born of genius, but of stubbornness and necessity. I built these tools not because I wanted to, but because I had to, because my son's life and the lives of so many others depended on it. It took years of trial, error, and relentless documentation. Some days, the output was a new dashboard. Other days, it was just one more verified record, one more scar the system couldn't hide. My intelligence isn't measured in IQ points, but in the refusal to let silence win. I learned to see patterns in the chaos, to spot the loopholes where harm slips through, and to design systems that remember when everyone else wants to forget. Is it rare? Yes. Most people don't have the mix of lived experience, technical skill, and the sheer defiance to keep going when the odds are stacked against them. But that's exactly why it matters. Every time a survivor's story is logged, every time a missed deadline is flagged in real time, every time a forgery is exposed and preserved, the odds shift just a little toward justice. These aren't just technical achievements. They are acts of defiance, proof that the system's erasure is not inevitable. They are the digital fingerprints of a movement that says, we were here. We will not be forgotten. Where does this lead for me? It leads to a world where the next child doesn't die in silence, where the next father isn't erased, where the next family survives the system that tried to destroy them. It leads to a permanent public record, a digital monument where truth is not just remembered, but weaponized for change. I am not after vengeance. I am after legacy. I want the scars to outlast the denials, to become the blueprint for a system that can no longer pretend it didn't know. I want every survivor's voice to echo in the halls of power, every documented harm to become a rallying cry, every small act of resistance to build toward a reckoning that cannot be ignored. So let them try to ignore us. Let them try to erase the marks. Because every small act, every documented truth, every Londonial scar adds up to something they cannot ignore. And that is how we win. Not all at once, but one undeniable mark at a time. This is not just my fight. It's a call to everyone who has ever been silenced, erased, or told their pain was just noise. It's a blueprint for how we turn grief into action, how we transform loss into legacy, and how we make sure that, in the end, the truth is not just seen, but felt etched into the record, impossible to deny, and powerful enough to change the world. Let me lay out the accomplishments that brought us here. I architected the baseline ignition engine, an AI-powered legal response system that automates filings, timestamps every breach, and makes every error auditable. I built the home for broken voices, a digital sanctuary where survivor testimony is preserved, not just as memory, but as evidence and blueprint. I drafted Antonio's Law and the Big Buddy Family Preservation Act, turning personal tragedy into legislative action. I invented Diapese, a product that funds resistance and supports families in need. I created the outlaw gospel in the Circuit of Flame, fusing poetry, legal testimony, and data into a living affidavit, a motion written in rhyme, a policy weapon that can't be ignored. My goals are clear: to scale these systems so that every survivor story is logged, every act of harm is flagged in real time, and every error leaves a scar the system cannot hide. To make public dashboards and digital archives so visible, so undeniable, that legislators and agencies are forced to confront the truth. To build a movement where survivor-led advocacy is the norm, not the exception. Absolutely, what stands out to me is how your modular, evidence-rich poetry invites the community not just to witness, but to participate and validate each other's stories. By blending survivor testimony with verifiable data, you create a shared narrative that's both emotionally resonant and factually grounded, making it easier for others to see themselves as part of a collective movement rather than isolated voices. This approach feels like it turns every reader or listener into a potential co-advocate, not just an audience.